Welcome back to the road to KSP. This is about the moons of Jool. We are putting some probes around them. We are launching some spacecraft. And yes, we are doing some stuff around the moons of Jool today. It's going to be a great one. So please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed. And if you would so like to, please ring that bell. Also, again, a comment is very much appreciated. Helps out what I'm doing. All right. So, we're starting off the first one today with Neptune 1. It is a Neidon probe. Yeah, so Neidon is the analog in this planet pack for Neptune. It has, I believe, 2 or 3 moons around it. I'm not exactly sure. And of course, we're launching it on a CDSM-5. This fully reusable craft will be putting it into orbit. Yeah, so here we are, quickly ascending into space, and yeah, here is the first stage going in for the quite impressive landing. Well, I mean, it's not that impressive, but it's pretty impressive. I do enjoy it. It slows down very fast, and then it just kind of drops into the water, and everything is fine about it. Yeah, so here's the second stage. It's currently on its way to finishing its circularization burn up, and I just deployed the solar panels, and here we are slowly drifting to our circularization. So yeah, within the last 2 episodes, I've been launching these very similar looking probes that I've already designed. This is mostly because I don't have to do as much with my hand because, again, my hand is broken. It is getting better now, though. I can actually, when I take off the cast that I'm wearing, it's like a plastic cast, I can actually touch my my left ring finger with my thumb now. Yeah, so that's a thing. Yeah, anyway, we are not slowly, but we are approaching the KSC. I boosted a little bit so we could slow down and land near a runway. I ended up accidentally messing that up a little bit. That's all right, because we basically have a landing just outside of the launch pad, which means that we get like 99% of our money back, which is perfect. That's really all we need. So yeah, now I'm basically just messing around with the point of where I get it there. I had to time warp forward a couple of days, and then I finally got the perfect, well, not perfect node, but yeah, it's very hard when the object is this far out and you're like a couple days away from the actual time that you're supposed to leave. And like, it's not as big as a gravity well as Jool, so you're kind of just constantly finicking with the overall shape of your burn. Yeah, so here we are. We're going to do the main, it's the what is it, like the transfer burn. Yeah, is it a Hohmann transfer? I think it's called a Hohmann transfer burn. But yeah, so we're burning, but it's going to take up the entirety of this, what is this, the 3rd stage? Yeah, it's going to take up the entirety of the 3rd stage. So we move on to the 4th stage, and it's going to take a huge portion of the 4th stage. Neidon is very far out, very far out, and it'll take us a while to get there. Also, remember, these probes, like specifically the ones that I'm sitting at right here, these are only meant to fly by these planets. They are not meant to really circularize around it. They do not have enough fuel for that. It's specifically just to get the science from the area. Whereas something that I'm about to show you in a little bit is supposed to get more science from the area. Yeah. And then I had to kind of mess around with the transfer because it didn't quite get it, but yeah. All right, so yeah, here we got Series 2. Series 2 is the exact same design probe of what you just saw, which is on its way to Neidon or whatever. And here it is getting really close to Dres. Yeah, so it's getting really close to Dres, and I kind of realized that it's on a impact. It's basically planned to impact Dres, which is not good. So I just full bore burned upward as I did as much science as I could do before we impacted, but we never impacted. We just came really fucking close. And yeah, now I tried to slow it down so we could maybe get some sort of like circularization. Never gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. And actually, when I clean the save file in a couple of episodes, I think I'll clean the save file after 50. We'll clean that up. So anyway, here's Jupiter 3. Jupiter 3 is a probe that births other probes, and just by I don't know why I said it that way. It's just because I wanted to. The whole purpose of this one is to drop off 3 probes into certain orbits. But my main problem is that I should have foreseen how much delta V that this would cost. It costs so much. Like, it costs a lot to land on these things, because this craft that I built wasn't meant to circularize around these planets. It was meant to circularize around Jool, but I mistook what I was supposed to do. Anyway, even though we did that, it does give us some opportunities for science, which is very helpful. Yeah, so we're starting off here doing science over Tylo, as we use Tylo to get ourselves an encounter with the rest of the Joolian system. So on that little graphic I saw, Tylo is the middle planet, and it has the highest gravitational pull. And yeah, it's very, very nice. And so I disconnected one, and I decided to try and deorbit it. It did not work very well, so I used as much as I could do. Like, I tried as much science as I could possibly get. Then I transferred it all out, and it gave us quite a hefty load of science. Like, I am very happy that we were able to do this. So the first probe, I dubbed it Ganymede 1, which makes sense because Ganymede is, Jupiter's largest moon, Tylo, Jool's largest moon. It's kind of how I'm naming things here. So yeah, that's what I'm doing this. That's how I'm doing this. And then so I then followed up with a reshaping this. Well, I moved the orbit around so we could get a encounter with, what is it, Val, which is the second closest to Jupiter. And I also plan a lander to land on this. But again, I am faced with the not so great problem of, you know, not enough delta V for things to land. And even if I were to use this craft to try and circularize, I wouldn't have enough delta V to circularize, which is quite a bummer. But we still have these things that we can use as satellites in the Joolian system. Also, I renamed this craft to Io, after one of Jupiter's moons. But yeah, so around Val, I did a whole bunch of science, and I basically did what I could. I even altered its, like, angle or whatever it's supposed to do. Yeah, it's not going great, and there's a really good chance that these crafts will collide with the Jupiter moons, but it's Io1, and we will be sending more landers out to these. I think I'm going to send a specifically designed lander next time for each one of these planets, like I have for Lathe, which is actually coming up in the next episode, I believe, or at least it should come up in the next episode. the that craft should be able to fly around Lathe no problem. Yeah, so anyway, I designed an encounter with Bop, but that's, you know, a long way down the long ways down the way. Anyway, now we've got Duna 1. Duna 1 is, or no, it's Duna Base 1. And yeah, it's designed to land on Duna. There's a very big problem. I never meant for Kerbals to be on this mission. So should I cheat them out or should I just leave them in? So the whole reason that I didn't want to do this is I kind of wanted to have more realistic style missions to Jupiter, and it doesn't really feel realistic that they were inside of a fairing on a rocket with barely any living space. So should I get rid of it or should I keep it? I don't know. Yeah, it was just a mistake. Yeah, here we are. We're slowly deorbiting Jupiter because we were at not Jupiter, Duna. We're slowly deorbiting over Duna. And I am going to deploy the heat shield and the aero brake cover. That helps slow us down quite a bit. And then I deployed the engines and the parachutes, which will help us slow down quite a bit till we finally reach the surface at a wonderful about 5 meters a second. No, 2-3 meters a second. Yep. And then I deployed the surviving solar panels, and that will be it for today. Thank you and goodbye.